Alright, we're back with a follow-up video to yesterday's. If you didn't catch that one, I'll leave a card at the end of this one that you can click on. It'll bring you right to it. While we're in here, this is something I haven't made a video about. This portion right in here, if you don't fill this in and you're running these high voltages and magnetic auger and things like that, like any of my builds, what can actually happen is there's a lot of force that gets put on this little piece right here, and that can actually crack away from the frame right in there. So to keep that from happening, just go ahead and epoxy that to reinforce it. Okay, now I've removed the excess rubber cement from our clutch gear plate, or whatever, from our clutch gear assembly, and went ahead and polished it up a little bit. Now we're going to use our syringe with silicone grease in it. We're going to put some here. I've already gone through this assembly, taken this part out, and put some of this on there. This is what I like to use when I'm working on these guns. Yeah, grease for this is just a little too thick, I believe. And put some grease under here, so that part's good to go. And after I grease this, I'm gonna put this part on, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and reassemble that part. Alright, when you get it back on, this I'm gonna just show you because it's easier to show you with it off. You have this flat side on here that if you get your hole lined up with that, your grease is just going to come up and out. It's not going to go between the plates. So just make sure that your grease port is not lined up with the flat side of this. And before I put this plate back down, I just like to go ahead and grease all in there without using the grease port. And it's important that this part be clean, because we're going to put some semi-permanent Loctite on there, and that's going to allow us to turn it while we're adjusting it to get the desired pressure on that plate that we want, and it'll prevent it from coming loose, but we will still be able to adjust it. Now this is going to save you a lot of headaches if you're not familiar with adjusting this. I lock that little spindle down with a pair of channel locks to be able to actually spin the clutch on that plate. And then I take this part right here and I measure in ounces where it breaks. So I'm looking for about 12.5 ounces. You don't have to get an expensive trigger gauge. The most important part about it is the shape of that part right there, because you want it to always hit the same spot on the needle from your grease gun, or this thing. Okay, so I'm going to do that off camera. So we're at 12.4 ounces. That's about as close can get when you're dealing with this. So what we're going to do now is just wait on the Loctite to cure, and that'll be, at least, it says 20 minutes, but I like to go, all night if I can. So that is how I adjust my clutch. Now keep in mind, this is for an 8K build. I like to run the clutch around 8 ounces for a 4K build. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Later.